In this guide, I'm going to walk you through how you can use the DashTrack platform to generate QR codes. And you're going to be able to generate these codes for any page of your website. You're also going to be able to use the tool if you want to generate a QR code, for example, to send to your Facebook page or your Instagram profile. And I'm going to walk through exactly how to do that, along with how you can customize the code that's generated and even download it and send it to your printers or print it out yourself. So to access the QR panel, you're going to want to go click on Content on the left-hand sidebar, and then click on Pages, and then navigate to the page you want to create the code for. Now, technically, you can customize these however you want, so you don't have to go down to the page itself, but this helps to auto-populate some of the data points for you. So I'm going to do this for Scapegoat Bar and Grill's menu page, and so I'm going to go down to the menu and click on QR code. That's going to open up a panel here, and depending on your settings, this panel might take up the whole screen the way this is now, or if you want to, you can have the panel just take up a portion of the screen by resizing that window. If you have it as a portion, the preview is on top, and then all of your configuration items are down below it. I'm going to expand it so that we can see this all in one spot. So this has a number of different color configurations already. And so as you can see, it has the green and the blue. If you ever want to make a bunch of changes, but then you want to reset it to the defaults, you can click on Reset to Defaults right here, and then it's going to reset everything. And I'll walk through that a couple times. So if you want to have your colors changed, click on the Colors panel, and you have the ability to control the background, which right now is white, and also the foreground, which right now is black. So say that I wanted to go with a kind of a blue color in the background, and then maybe kind of a charcoal color for the foreground, then I can go and I can pick each one of these values, and as you can see, it changes as I'm picking out the color scheme. So the really nice thing about this is you can create these QR codes that will match exactly with your branding, and if you happen to have the hexadecimal value or the RGB value, you can also just paste them right in here, and then that will make sure that you have exactly what maybe a designer or a branding agency maybe created for you. Once again, you do not have to worry about breaking anything. If you ever mess up the colors so bad and you hate them, just come up to the top and click on Reset, and then that will reset all of those values like we have right here. Now, I'm going to also show you how you can customize the destination. So right now, it is using the default of the menu page. So if I click on this, I can edit it. I want to use this page, so in this case, it's going to navigate right to Scapegoat's menu. That's exactly what we want it to do. But you also can change this to be whatever you want. So you could paste in your link to your Facebook page or Instagram or any other spot on the page. This is simply populating it for you. To save any changes here, you can just hit return or click on the little green check mark here, and that's your URL destination. The layout gives you the ability to customize the size. So for the size, this is important if, say, your printer is requesting a very specific size that you need to use. So in this case, the default is 1,000 pixels, and if you needed to, say, do 1,500 pixels, then you can type that in, hit return, and they'll auto update. I'm going to, once again, click on the factory defaults, and it's going to get reset to 1,000. One really nice thing too is all of your settings here are saved as you're going through. So if I change that to 1500 and I closed out of the pane, then when I open it up the next time, I don't have to go and type it all in. It is saving it as I'm going through and making these changes. Now, I also have the ability to include margin. So that's easier to see when I have some kind of background. So let me go pick out a nice kind of dark blue background, and I'll go with a white foreground here. And now if I go down and I pick on include margin, you can see that adds some margin values here. So if you want to do that for, say, printing purposes, or if you want to put these on stickers or anything like that, then you can do that. Now you also have a design type, so you can change the way these blocks look, and they will still all go to the same exact place. So they have L, M, H, and Q. These are all designations for, it's called the air level type, and you don't need to know what the values are because you can just click on these, and as you can see, as I'm clicking on them, it actually changes each one of those. The default is L, but if for some reason you start testing these out and you see the cameras aren't picking them up quite as quickly, then you might want to add some more detail like we did right here. Once again, I'm going to reset to the factory defaults, and we have our basic one. Now lastly, and this is probably my favorite, is you actually have the ability to embed a icon or image directly in the QR code. Now there are some rules around this because the fact that the camera has to pick it up, translate the picture into a URL means you wouldn't want to cover up too much of the code. And so there are some rules that the system will automatically follow to make sure that the code still works, but it is pretty neat. I love how this came out. So you have the ability to click on icon, then click on embed icon. And I already had a icon uploaded, but I'm going to replace it. So I'm going to hit replace, and you can just drag and drop from your computer. So I can click on an icon. Now there aren't a lot of rules with this, but one of the rules is you want the image to be a perfect square. It can be pretty much any type of square. I believe this one is a couple hundred pixels by a couple hundred pixels wide, and I'm going to click and drag it. And as you can see, now that little logo has now been placed right in the center of the code, which gives it a pretty cool kind of look and feel. So now when you print out each one of these types of codes and say you're going to put them on tables or maybe at your checkout stand, anything like that, it's going to be neat because your own logo can be placed right in the middle of it. So that is all that you need to do to customize this. And then once you're done, once you're ready to print it out, you've customized your size, colors, everything like that, then come up to the top right-hand side and click download QR, and then that will download it right to your computer. And you can click on it and you can see that it's working. It's exactly what we created and it's the exact size. So I can open up my camera here and it automatically goes to the menu page that we just saw, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if that came through on the camera or not, but it did open up the exact menu page. And so you have the ability to create these QR codes, print them out, customize them, and direct your users to anywhere that you want them to go. So I hope you found that helpful. Let me know if you ever have any questions regarding that.